But if I plot point on this board, then I am accepting the dimension of this point. Means if you watch it with wider angle lens, it has length, breadth and height. That means I am denying the definition of point. So how can you define? So there is a contradiction. If I cannot define point properly, then I cannot define line which can join 2 points. I cannot define mechanics, means motion in a straight line you are taught in physics, organic chemistry. So it was the essential thing to define a point properly in the remote past. So the mathematician had badly needed to establish a point according to the definition. What is that? See, suppose there is a curve. If you join the two corners, you will get a chord. Now, what is chord? Chord is a line which can join any 2 points on the curve. So if the length of the chord is reduced, that means that 2 points are approaching each other. Once these 2 points will fall on each other, then the chord will become a tangent. Then the chord will become a tangent. That means if you are able to draw a tangent on this curve, that means you are accepting the existence of the point on this curve. Yes or no? Suppose you have drawn a tangent here. That means on that junction, on that contact, there is a point. So that is the objective of differentiation. Okay. Now, what is the working rule and how to operate the differentiations, the differential operator? See, suppose y is equal to fx is a function. Y is equal to fx. Now, x is incremented by delta x, means x has become x plus delta x, and as y depends on x, so y will also be increased by y plus delta y. Okay. So what is the new relation between y and x? Then x plus delta x. Okay. So if you consider x as income and y as expenditure, so expenditure depends on income. Income is x, expenditure is y. Now, income is increased by delta x. Automatically, expenditure by the hour of need will be increased and it has become y plus delta y. Now, what is our general trend? Even after getting increment of salary or this thing, we will judge how much increment is done in expenditure at the end of the session. So from incremented value you subtract the previous value, means with increment from incremented expenditure you are subtracting the previous expenditure. So you can measure that how much expenditure is done in your family. You are subtracting this, that is the expenditure. Okay, so it is, so simple comprehension of our daily life. Now, this increment of, relation between expenditure and income will be depicted by graph. X, Y. Suppose the income and expenditure, at this position, means this status with respect to this society, X and Y. Now, this is X, this is Y. Now, income is increased. It has become X plus delta X. Automatically, expenditure also increased. And there is the curve. Okay. Now, you do one thing. You join this. So, this point is what? This point's coordinate now X plus delta X, Y plus delta Y. So, previously, if you consider X as income and Y as expenditure, this was the preliminary position of that relation between expenditure and income. Now, income is increased, so expenditure is also increased. So, if I join it by a curve, so that is the curve of that relation between income and expenditure. If I join these 2 points, I will get a chord or secant. Now, you observe this calculation. This is delta X. Now, this thing is Y plus delta Y. So, this thing is delta Y. And this angle I am taking phi. So, according to trigonometry, tan phi is delta Y by delta X. Delta Y by delta X. Is it clearly visible? Good. Now, what is delta Y? Few minutes back, we have derived that. See, instead of delta Y, I drag this value and I plug this value and put. That is tan phi, tan phi. Now what happened? Now this is the chord. Now that good time has gone. That service holder got good increment. That's why their lifestyle went up. Right now, in the time of recession, suppose income is reduced. Income is reduced. So, if the person is rational, his or her expenditure also will reduce. Yes or no? Expenditure's curve will come down. Yes or no? And that chord or interception, the length of intersection will be reduced. Now, expenditure will be reduced. Up to what extent? Tends to 0. Means you can shift back to your original position. Means the increment becomes 0 and the person stayed at the same position of the beginning of his or her career. So when delta x tends to 0, you have got the concept of limit now. That chord will have no interception but become tangent. Understand? Yes. That means that angle phi will become a new angle. Will become a new angle. What angle that is? Say that angle is theta. So once you have introduced the term delta x tends to 0. Tends to 0 means you are recalling the concept of limit. Yes or no? Once delta x tends to 0, that concept is knocking at our door. That means we are inviting the concept of limit. Yes or no? So you take limit delta x tends to 0 in right hand side. So what will be happened with the left hand side? Here also limit to be introduced. Delta x tends to 0 means phi will tend to new angle theta. Phi will tend to new angle theta. And when this point is coming down and will about to fall on each other, that means the tangent is drawn. That means you are accepting the existence of this point. That means you are accepting or you are able to separate the point from the curve, or you are able to differentiate the point from the curve. Yes or no? So after this step, I am writing here. So once I get that, so I will put theta in place of phi. Tan theta limit delta x tends to 0, fx plus delta x minus fx by delta x. That means differentiation is done. That means you can call it as differential operator. Why it is called operator? If you see calculator, there is a switch on which ddx is written. That means if you put the value of x, the function, you will get the output. So once you give input and get output, that means it is an operator, like plus, minus, into, log, anti-log. This is an operator. Understand? So whom you differentiate? That curve. What curve? Y is equal to fx. You differentiated what? Y. And you have got what? This. So this is called definition of differentiation. Now delta x was what? Width of increment. The width's last alphabet h is taken. to imply that. Instead of delta x, I can put h tends to 0. So, this is called definition of differentiation or first principle. Definition or first principle of differentiation. This is called definition or first principle of differentiation or it is called derivative or it is called differential coefficient. So, there are three nomenclature. Any one you can use. Maximum, in the common nomenclature is differentiation or derivative. This ddx of y, for the sake of pronunciation, we can call dy dx. So, actually, differentiation of y with respect to x or ddx of y, it can be called f dash x. It is first order, 1 dash means first order derivative. This is first order derivative or differentiation, f dash x. Understand? This is the definition of differentiation. We are differentiating y with respect to x. We suppose y is a human chain. You are going to differentiate human chain with respect to human qualities. How? There is a chord. Suppose there is a curve. This curve contains, different communities like, teacher, student, doctor, engineer, businessman, so many types. So, suppose you are told to differentiate that curve with respect to doctor. So, here I can draw a tangent. Suppose you are told to differentiate with respect to a businessman. On that point, you have to draw a tangent. So, this is the way, actually the relation between the the function and the variable with respect to which you are going to differentiate. Understand? Hope you could follow whatever I have taught. Now, directly in your school level, even in JEE, you will get direct sum from first principle, and it will depend on limit. That's why I have written the heading differentiation and limit. Okay. See, suppose you have got a sum. Find differentiation of function e to the power root x with respect to x by first principle. See, in board level or school level, how to represent it? Here fx is what? E to the power root x. Then what is the definition? Let us recall fx plus h minus fx by h, where limit h tends to 0. So dy dx or f dash x is what? Limit h tends to 0, f x plus h minus fx by h. Now fx we have got. Now using the concept of function, you get f dash x, fx plus h, f x plus h. If fx is e to the power root x, then x is being replaced by x plus h. This will become e to the power root x plus h. Yes or no?
Yes.
So instead of this, you can write, e to the power root x plus h minus e to the power root x by h. Once you get this, then there is no role of differentiation. Differentiation's role is over. Now simple limit, which already we have done in last two classes. First of all, you put h is equal to 0 directly. You will get 0 by 0 form. Why? Put 0, e to the power root x minus e to the power root x by h. So we will not be allowed to put. So it demands what? Simplification. You by force you take e to the power root x common. Once you take common, what will be left for you in the bracket? This thing. So the question is, what I will do with this? What is the role of this part which I have taken common? See here what is given? H tends to 0. H tends to 0 means it has no relation to x. So e to the power root x will be considered as constant. Yes or no? So you take this thing out. After this stage, I will writing here. See, e to the power root x will be brought out. What will be left in the limit? See, base same, power different. X plus h minus root x minus 1 by h. So this simplification we have got. Now what formula is peeping from behind? That formula which we have done last day or last day, e to the power x minus 1 by x is equal to 1, where e's power is x being divided by x and the variable in limit x that also tends to 0. So if these three are same, you will be entitled to put 1. But here we are getting the semblance of that formula, but here variables are different, not actually x. So I have to make the same variable. To ease the calculation, you do one thing, you let root x plus h minus root x is equal to y. Okay, I am replacing that variable by another variable. Okay. Okay. Now you observe h tends to 0. What does it mean? X plus h, add x to both sides. Take root to both sides. Bring right hand side in left hand side. And that thing assumed what? Y. Y tends to 0. So that little bit bigger expression, I have made that expression is equal to y to represent it with simpler presentation. So I have let it y. So this will be turned into what? E to the power root x, h tends to 0. H tends to 0 is same as y tends to 0, we have already shown. So once this thing is replaced by y, then I have to change the variable which is tends to 0. Now once you get this, maximum students do the mistake. What? After getting the step, they are putting 1, memorizing this formula. But how this, expression which we have just got differed with that standard formula? Here the power x, denominator 6 and limit 6, all are same. But here it is y, denominator is h. Okay, so we have to make them same. Okay, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
If you get stuck, don't hesitate to ask. No compromise in absorbing the knowledge. See, after this step, dy dx, that is already taken out. E to the power root x, limit. Once you have bought variable y, then instead of h, you have to write y tends to 0 because they are actually same. E to the power y minus 1, you had h. Just to get that same variable, bring y in denominator also. And to balance, multiply this thing by y. Okay. Now, instead of this part, if you wish, you can write 1 because that is matching with the standard formula. So, ddx of y e to the power root x into 1. But still now, limits role is not yet over, because still now that y term which is actually assumed by this, instead of y, you can reinstate root x plus h minus root x by h. So this thing has already become 1. So e to the power root x, and in this type of limit, what mechanism to be followed? Simple rationalization. Otherwise, you would have got 0 by 0. Simple rationalization means, you see, we have this irrational number. So multiply numerator and denominator by its conjugate. multiply numerator by root x plus h plus root x and denominator also by same. So that thing will give you what? A plus b into a minus b formula in numerator. This x plus h means root x plus h whole square. Root will be wiped out. Minus root x whole square. X will get cancelled. H will get cancelled. Now if I put h is equal to 0, then that will not bring any 0 in denominator. So that the limit will be finite. So e to the power root x into 1 by 2 root x. So this has become the answer. Little bit monotonous, but see, in school level, we cannot avoid that, depiction, that procedure. Otherwise, hardly we can get, full marks. Now, in JEE, that formula will work in what manner? Yeah. In JEE, what type you can expect using this first principle? Suppose fx plus y, fx into fy means the functions are connected by this, where x and y both are real number. X and y both are real number. Now, f dash 0 is given to and f 5 is given 3, then you are told to find f dash 5. This is the joint entrance level question of yesteryears. Right now the sum is common, but this is concept building, concept builder, brain teaser that is called. See, it has direct related. Once you get this type f dash 5, always try with that first principle. First principle means this part, x plus h minus fx. F dash 5 is given. If you have hesitation, always write that definition in a side roughly. What is the definition? We have discussed fx plus h minus fx by h. Now you can ask me how I can find a relation of this sum to this formula. You see here dy dx or f dash x are defined by this, but here in place of x you are told to find what? 5. So there is the connection. Now your comprehension will speak for you. Okay, if I put myself in your position, I would have seen the sum from that point of view. Okay, f dash x is given, f dash x is defined by this. I am told to find f dash 5. Okay, so if had this been this, so instead of x, if I put 5, that also be depicted by this formula in the same manner. F X plus h? No. Right now, in place of x, what is written? 5. 5 plus h. Minus fx? No. We are told to put 5. So, this is our primary states. Now, how to expand it? F 5 plus h. Is there any clue given in the question? Yes. X plus y. Fx and fy. X and y are what? Only alphabets? No. They are variable. What is variable? Means in lieu of x and y, I can put any value. So, here in place of x, if I put 5 and in place of y, if I put h, then that thing will be expanded by this. Echo. Okay. Okay. Saurabh, are you getting me?
Yes, sir, I can get your voice.
Okay. If there is any echo or the distraction, must tell me. Huh? Okay. See, x plus y, fx into fy. So 5 plus h. इसके जगह में 5. Okay. Now it is okay for you. Hope I can reach you. Okay. F5 fx into fy into fh. So that expansion will be used here. F5 plus h, f5 into fh minus f5 by h. So in OpenEye, what is clearly visible? F5 is a common factor. You
Yes.
take it common and put it out of the limit. F5, and what will be left for us? H tends to 0, fh minus 1 by h. Now the question is, what is 1? There is no clue is given against it. So you observe, one thing is given, that is f dash 0. F dash 0. So the question will haunt us. Okay, f dash 5, the way we are finding f dash 5, the same thing will be followed here also. Yes. You observe, once you get f dash 0, you see f dash 0. F0 plus h minus f0 according to the first principle. F0 plus h. Now in lieu of x, I have placed 0. That means fh minus f0. Now the question is, what is f0? We don't know. Then you do one thing. The trick always you follow. These x and y are variable. So, and xi a real number. So, I am putting x is equal to y is equal to 0. And see the outcome, f0 plus 0, f0 into f0. f0 into f0. What does it mean? f0 is equal to f0 square. So 1 f0 cancel, f0 is equal to 1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So instead of that f0, I can write fh minus 1 by h. And f dash zero's value in the question is given what? 2. So we have got one allure, one path. What? Instead of this, I can put 2. So that value you drag here and put. What is F5? 3. Answer 6. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes? Class 11. Class 11. No, no, no. See, I have told you, I hope you have heard, this sum is the question of yesteryears. Means 7, 8 years back, we students had to face this. Now this question is common. Now it advanced level, according to time, we will discuss. Okay? Just wait. Wait, you'll come to know. Don't worry.